What's going on, everybody? We are the Black Culture Podcast. I'm the Willie Ashford. That's my man Price.
Price.
What's going on, man?
Oh man, you got it, homie. Chilling.
Man, listen, man. First off, thank you to everybody out there that supports the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you for all our new subscribers, our newcomers. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and like, subscribe. Please, that is the most important to us, to the channel. If you hit that subscribe button, give us a like, share a video, spread the word about the Black Culture Podcast, where we discuss everything Black culture, whether it be sports, entertainment, you name it. If it has to do with our culture, we discuss it. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at the Black Culture Podcast. You can also stream us on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, and all at the Black Culture Podcast. Hit that 5-star ratings. And we thank you, man. How was your day, dog?
And the day was pretty smooth, bro. Yours?
It was cool, man. I was at work the other day and overheard a conversation from one of my coworkers. They were talking about work, and he starts a quote saying like, "Man, yeah, because I'm a real man, you know." And I kind of sat back and not really said anything, but I kind of sat back from afar and thought like, man, what is a real man? What is, because you hear people say that a lot, right? What is considered being a real man? Like what is that? And I remember texting you, bring it up to you. Of course, let's bring it to the podcast. Let's talk to our people about it. Like, you hear that all the time. It's used in different ways, different situations, kind of as a ego booster to a lot of males, saying, I'm a real man, or that's what a real man do. That's how real men do it. So, Price, what is being a real man? Like, what break that down in your perspective?
So I just want to hit on that one point, and I'm going to answer that question. But you said your coworker said he was a real man, right? And it's funny, today you really don't hear men walking around saying that, because you really don't have to. It's in this generation, a lot of the women are saying it. I need a real man. And so I'll give you my take. A real man is a person who lives in reality and who doesn't live, which is where real comes from. He lives in the world that we are in, and he takes care of his responsibilities as they are, not in a way that he imagines them. So growing up, I'm sure you heard this. Real man provides and protects, right? Or it might have been backwards. They protect and provide. And that's actually true. That really is our function. That's our ability. Men built the world. That's what God gifted us to do. But there's another P that goes along with that. And it's not price. It's protect, provide, and progress. So we aren't meant to just go to work and come home, give the wife the check, although that is part of it. We're on a mission to build. That is really the function of who we are. And so a man, number one, if you do have a family and you're not taking care of your family, you're not operating in the abilities that God gave you. If you're not progressing in life, if you're staying stuck and stagnant and going in circles, you're not on the mission that God gave you to do. And so we live in this world, and this world has plenty of opportunities for us to become the best versions of who we are. From the age, from we're born to about the age men can grow into, I think they're about 21, 22. And then at that point, you need to be advancing in life. You need to become the role model for the next generation. And ideally, or I should say traditionally and historically, you go from a boy to being a man, you become a husband, and then you become a father. And with that, you build something, because marriage is usually the beginning of family. You build something, and then from there, now it's your children's turn. to grow and progress. And as a man, it's your job, along with your mates, or even if you're a single dad, because I know dads who are actually single, like have 100% custody. It's their job to create an environment to give their children the best opportunity to be able to grow and thrive. So our job, we're put here to plant seeds and for those seeds to grow so that the next generation can harvest. That's my definition of a real man. What's yours?
I like that definition there, but again, it could be, I think to me, being a real man, I'm going to go off of modern day. Since you just gave that perspective, I'm going to go off of modern day. And I think to me, I think it's more so because your definition of being a real man could be different from what my definition of being a real man is. Right. And if you haven't already, we recorded an episode of, what does it mean to be a real woman or whatever. We broke that down. And a lot of the things we discussed in there was, in today's generation, everything's based off of money, right? And it could be a ton of men that have cash, whether it's legal or illegal, and they may feel like that makes them, just keeping it real, they may feel like that may make them a real man, right? And physically, you may feel like, hey, I'm big physically, I'm a real man. You may feel like mentally I'm a real man, but my definition of being a real man is, are you taking care of your responsibilities, whether it's kids, whether it's family, whether it's your mental health? Are you taking care of you? That's a big part of also being a real man, I think. And let's stay there for a little bit, right? Being a real man is part of making sure mentally you're okay, making sure mentally you're good. Because I can just imagine it's hard to maintain a healthy life if you're not fit well mentally. But I don't think there's like a set definition of being a real man, because you used to think, right? We went years in the past thinking real men don't cry, right? It's just these past, has it even been a decade since we really said we started saying real men do cry?
Nah, I don't think it has.
Right. So we just got out of that. Like, we were programmed for decades, centuries, to think real men don't cry. You hold those emotions in, right? So we say it all the time. As time goes on, we evolve, things change, different situations change. And that's why I think now, like, now you have this, I'm trying to be careful what I say because I don't want to offend any people or any communities, being true to who you are, being your true self. That's could be considered being a real man. Real men don't talk about certain things. Like, we were raised and we were programmed to think that, like, real men don't talk about certain things. Real men just don't. We'll deal with our situations when we deal with them. And as we've gotten older, as studies came out, times has changed. We also see, the real men that said hold those things in, the real men that said don't cry, actually suffer from mental health the most because of all that backed up things, that trauma that they deal with. So again, I think it's changed. I think being a real man is just being comfortable with who you are, taking on your responsibilities, being responsible for the good and the bad in your life. To me, I think that's being a real man. I don't think it has to do with how much money you got. I don't think it has to do with how much the flies clothes you got, but are you taking care of your business? Because there's some men that don't even got a job that I know that feel like they consider a real man. So to me, I think it's more so of what your perspective is. But if you want to get to the meat of it, I think it's taking care of your responsibilities, your mental. Those two things that I think that I consider being a real man is.
Yo, those are two excellent points. And I didn't even think about the mental aspect of it because, when I was talking about progressing, you don't progress without having to deal with the issues that you have, and we all know issues can come in many forms. Money is actually the least of them. I remember somebody saying to me, if money is your only problem, you don't have a problem because it's so accessible. And especially the world we live in, there's so many opportunities. But one of the hardest things for men to do is to address the issues that are going on with them. They would rather run through a burning building and save everybody than to sit down with a therapist and talk about things that might have affected them during their childhood. And that is, well, like you said, you learn that as a little boy. You learn that, if you want to read real men don't cry. That's how fathers have raised their sons for millennia. If you know anything about the Spartans, that movie 300, that part was real, where they sent the boys out into the wild at the age of 7, and they had to go out, and that was their, in a sense, initiation into manhood. And so, yeah, dealing with what's going on up here, all that just helps you become a better man overall. And a healed man is a better leader. He can recognize things that's going on with his family, and he can ultimately become a better husband, a better father, and a better leader in his community. But yeah, I agree with that. Taking care of your responsibilities and your own mental health is your responsibility.
So I'm gonna close with this because I feel like we haven't done this in a while on our show. But if I was to leave with a message to the men out there, the real men or whatever you want to call it, man, make sure mentally you're okay. Make sure mentally you are where you need to be. Make sure mentally you are okay to your whatever your standard is mentally. Man, make sure you're okay. Find somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? If you're going through a lot, find somebody to talk to. Find a way to channel that emotion. Find a way to channel that energy. So we lose a lot of men to trauma, to things that they've had to deal with in the past. Your getaway may be drinking, your getaway may be smoking, your getaway may be partying, whatever it is. But make sure whatever your getaway is, to get your mind off those things, make sure it's not harming you, not only physically, but mentally. Make sure it's not harming you, because a lot of times we do things to ease our mind, but it's easing our mind, but it's still harming us. And we got to get away from that. So in the process of trying to ease our mind, we're actually doing more damage to ourselves.
Yo, I want to do an episode about that. I'm sure you was thinking the same.
Yeah.
But I want to center it around the topic, real men heal.
Yeah, definitely. I like that.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, bro, everything you said, and we want to hear from our audience. Like, what do you think a real man is? What is your definition of a real man? Leave it in a comment, share it on social, share this video too. And of course it'll be on all the podcast platforms. But this is a topic that we really don't talk about enough, because there's so many different versions of what we think we should do based upon what we were taught growing up. But is that the truth? Is that who we're really supposed to be? We don't know. So definitely, Willie.
Man, this was a great topic. There's so many ways you can go with this topic, but we decided to go this route. We felt it needed to be said. But great topic. We're gonna hit y'all with more. We definitely gonna break down the topic that Price was talking about, real man heal. We definitely gonna hit on that. But if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please. Hit that like button, turn your notifications on, so you'll be notified when we release videos and release our clips. Go ahead over, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Give us a follow, share our videos on there. Listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify. If you're out on the go, you can go ahead and throw those AirPods in and listen to us on there, and just keep supporting us. We thank you. Thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, you can support us on Cash App at $ Black Culture Podcast. No donation is too small. We really appreciate it, man. Again, thank you so much. I am the Willie Ashford. That is
Bryce.
We Are the Black Culture Podcast. Peace.